Hi everyone. So today we are looking at this slideshow that says Personal Narrative, Read Like a Writer, Part 2. So the first thing you're going to do when you log into this is you're going to watch this video that is right here. It just talks a little bit about details from the details hand and how you can tell what details you're looking at based on mentor text. So one thing I want to point out as I am showing you this slideshow in present mode. If I wanted to get out of present mode, I would go to the ESC button on my keyboard at the top and I could go backwards. So the only way I would be able to move things around in my slideshow is by being in this way right here. We've been practicing this with the fish aquarium that we did. So let's go ahead and look at slide 2. Slide 2 says to watch the directions. These will be the directions that I'm going to put in there. I've also added a details hand poster for you to remember what you're going to be looking for. So the things you will be looking for in each selection or each section of text are dialogue, setting, internal thinking, character action, or physical description. So you might see a piece of information or text and it might have more than one detail. So let's move on. I'll show you the next one. You'll come to a slide and it looks like this. And first thing you'll notice is there will be a text box in blue. It says you can click in the text box and type which detail you see in this text. This text is this portion down here. So let me do present mode. And to do present mode, you would click over here, the little triangle. Now I can see it a little bit bigger. But I'm not sure if you guys, I don't think you can type in here when it's like this. You'll have to press that ESC button and go back. So it says chapter 3, Blobby for the win. So this is an exclamation point. When I read this, I would say, Blobby for the win. And then first thing I notice are these quotation marks. When I see these quotation marks, that tells me right away that I am going to be looking at dialogue for sure. And dialogue is something that someone says. So this says, watch this, I tell Alonso. And that has that exclamation point too, so there's some excitement. I probably should read it more like this. Watch this, I tell Alonso. I put my head under the water. I make my blobfish face. Alonso tries it too. And so there's that double O2 that we've been talking about also, and that means also when you see two O's with the word to. Okay, so we need to decide which details from this details hand that we see in this selection or this text. First of all, I saw a dialogue for sure, right? They had the quotation marks. This is the dialogue portion right here. Let me pick up my highlighter tool here. So this portion here is dialogue. It's surrounded by these quotation marks, and all of this part in here is the part that this Alonso is saying. So I would definitely, I'm going to press ESC so I can get back to type. It says click in the box and type what details you see. I would definitely say dialogue. And I put the little poster on every page to help you so you can see how to spell it. So D-I-A-L-O-G-U-E. And so I'm going to go down and I'm going to see if there's any other detail from the details hand. So I'm going to say, is there setting, which is time and place? Is there internal thinking, character action? Internal thinking is what the character's thinking or how they're kind of feeling inside. Character action is always some action that they're doing. And then, or is there physical description where the author is telling about the person or telling a little bit about the place or telling about the thing that we're reading about. Let me go back to present mode. Okay, so this was dialogue. I put my head under the water. Is that dialogue? No, I don't see the dialogue marks, which are quotation marks. Is it setting? Oh, it tells place, doesn't it? I make my blobfish face. So it's definitely not internal thinking. It's not how the character feels or thinks. Character action, is it character action something the character is doing? Definitely, right? I put my head under the water. I make my blobfish face. Those are two character actions for sure. Physical description, is it describing how someone looks or something looks? Not really. Alonso tries it too. So Alonso's also going underwater and trying to go underwater and make the blobfish face, right? So I definitely see character action. I'm going to add that to my box. And I definitely see dialogue. Setting is time or place. They're in the pool. I think I could say setting because I know they're underwater in the pool. So I think I'm going to add setting, and I think I will add character action. So I'm stuck in present mode. I press the ESC button again, click in my text box. So now I see that flashing cursor. That's called a cursor. And I'm going to type in, I think, setting, because they're definitely in a pool, right? They're under the water. Definitely character action. All right, now let's see. Was there internal thinking? No, I don't think so. And I didn't see a lot of physical description. Notice your text box gets bigger as you type in there too. So now I can go to my next slide and I don't have to do any more typing or anything else on this page. I'm done with that page. I found all of the different details from the details hand that were in here. Okay, so let's look at the next slide. I know which slide is next because if you'll notice over here, I'm on slide 3 and it's like yellow around that. I can click the next slide to slide 4. I can put it on present mode so I can see it a little bit bigger. And then I can say, here's my details hand. I found my text box that I'll be typing in. It says, I swim to Blobby. I put my goggles on him. I lift up the fish and jiggle him in the air. Look, Alonso, I call. Alonso smiles. I'm seeing quite a bit of things from the details hand. So I definitely see dialogue, and I see it over in this section here, right there, right? It has the quotation marks, and the dialogue is definitely there. As far as setting goes, time and place, I don't think I would add that here because I don't think that's mostly what this is about. I swim to Blobby. Action. That's an action. They're swimming, right? So that is character action. I swim to Blobby. I put my goggles on him. That's more character action. He's putting goggles on Blobby. I lift up the fish and jiggle him in the air. More character action. This looks like a lot of character action. And then I see dialogue here. So I can't type when I'm in present mode. So I press the ESC button on my keyboard. And I click in the box right here. I could even just get rid of what I wrote here if I wanted to, or you could just leave it. And I will say dialogue and character action. I can type right on there, and then I just leave it on the slide. Go to my next slide, and it automatically saves. I can go look at my next slide and keep going through reading the different text parts and looking for different. See, I switched books down here. This is a different story. Lots of different things from the details, and things that really jump out to me are always the dialogue, kids, because you can see the quotation marks. So that's how you do this assignment. There's your instructions. When you're ready to turn it in, you make sure you have your each slide completed before you turn it in. Remember how to go between present mode, where you press present at the top corner. But like I said, nothing will work in the present mode. You're just looking, making it a little bigger on your Chromebook. Once you want to get out of the present mode, you press ESC button on your keyboard. All right, so then we're back, and I know I'm down here at slide 9 because it's yellow around it. And I can scroll up and down using this little thing here. I could use the scroll button on my mouse. And your instructions, this video right here, will be on this slide. So have fun and see you soon.